Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Order of the Crimson Arm 100% Growth's low turn count playthrough. This video will be commentating Chapter 18, a very boring map in all honesty. You have to defend for 10 turns, or wait for 10 turns for Dione to show up so we can fight her and then talk to her again. However, that gives us 10 turns to grind. Celia, because she's capped her speed and skill, promotes, getting an extra 3 strength. And then August also promotes. She doesn't have any stats capped, but it's still nice just to promote her. We have the extra seal, and we can start getting her extra levels in this map. This is the last map we have to prepare for the last route map of the game. And thus we're going to try to put all of our experience into units that we've been training to help out with the route map. Including a unit we just got in this chapter. You might notice that there's another Valkyrie. We deployed Elaine, of course, but we also have a second one. That's Clara. She has a much better tome rank than Elaine, and that's her major benefit compared to her. Her staff rank is lower, but she has, and her stats are lower at this point, but she does have better, a better tome rank, so she can use tomes that Elaine can't. She also is able to reach E-rank staves by the end of the playthrough. She also counts as a lord, according to the game, because she gets a personal weapon that boosts her magic by 3. She's a very important unit moving forward, and we will be deploying her in every single map, with maybe one exception. Celia promoting now means that she has a lot of time to grind up to S-rank bows. She never needs to hit S-rank bows, actually, but she ends up capping her weapon rank for Boleslav, unfortunately. This chapter was mainly improv because the RN string I used got messed up, but my stats are high enough that with enough care, I can improv a strat that has pretty high chances of success. Negu wants to build her lance rank up. She wants to be able to use silver lances at some point. She technically never ends up having to use them, but being able to use them was an option that I wanted her to have. A-rank axes and Sven, you can now use every axe that we care about. Granted, we now have every axe that we care about. We don't ever use the Brave Axe. This is a kill boss map. The boss is actually pretty dodgy. He is a meteor tome as well, so he's able to strike us from afar. There are 2 green units in this map. We don't care if they survive. Well, one of them is a game over condition, if I recall correctly. But luckily, the boss runs out of meteor tomes before he's able to get into range. We unfortunately kiss our Iron Longbow goodbye, but Celia and Boleslav's bow ranks are high enough that they should be able to make it just from doing noble combat. Elaine is still at D rank tomes, and we want her to hit at least C rank. We had to, well, I had to go back and hack in an extra fire tome. I deducted the funds from the convoy, but it never ends up mattering. We have a lot of gold to spare at the end of this playthrough. Keep in mind that because Elaine has magical ones at 2 range, her combat stats are actually much better than a unit like August or Sven's. 1 to 2 range tomes actually have good might, whereas 1 to 2 range hand axes and javelins don't, really. We deployed Cynthia because we need to deploy either her or Dione, or Ileana, to talk to Dione. Cynthia got is closer to level up and she has more bulk, so with full improv, it's harder for her to die. We also break out the light brand in this chapter a little bit. We need to conserve it mostly for next chapter. However, we are able to use a couple uses of it, as I said before. Next chapter is a huge test of every unit that we've been using. It also is brings a question that some of you might have been thinking, I should have using Celia instead of Brendan, considering one of them needs to be deployed in the next chapter. I will address why next map. We pick up, I believe, our third Nosferatu tome. We should have given Camille a body ring, one of the first body ring that we picked up, because she would be able to double some enemies with using the Nosferatu tome that she wouldn't be able to anyway, either without it. Or we should have given her a couple more levels before her promotion, so she's faster. In the long run, it doesn't matter, it just means that reliability is slightly worse. There's a single enemy with a stat boost from this map. Claire's other main issue is that, unlike Elaine, she hasn't had a lot of levels to grow with 100% quotes. She's kind of frail. But that dragon shield that we just picked up helps remedy her frailty. It doesn't fully patch it up, but it means that she's able to take more than a few hits. There are a lot of turns in this chapter where it won't have that much to say because it is simply just staff grinding or dance grinding. Or, in Elaine's case, grinding up her tome rank. Because of this, there will be long patches of silence, but I believe it's better than me filming every single second with my monotone voice. Clara does have access to barrier at base, which is another point in her favor. Well, we don't really care about her staff rank, all we really want her to hit is B-rank saves for Physic. Having C-rank saves mean that she also can use barrier, which means she can get a lot of experience for free. Granted, most of her turns she's better off doing something that matters more, but it is worth pointing out. She does use barrier a couple of times in the next couple of maps. Waylon's strength cap after promotion is really high. He needs to hit around level 11 promoted in order to cap all of his relevant stats. Because of this, we are going to be focusing a lot of experience and a few stat boosters on him. Specifically, we get an energy ring in chapter 21, and that's going to go to him. Promise, next chapter will be significantly more interesting. Cynthia is able to get a bit more experience, even though she never really matters. Despite the fact that there are a lot of maps where having a lot of high move flyers would be helpful, all of her other flyers have better stats than her in most areas. Most of our units have better combat stats than her and have other reasons to be trained, so they have reasons to be deployed over her. I expressed my distaste before for Boleslav. He, thankfully, is able to start taking somewhat of a backseat once he is able to, in the next couple of chapters, although we have to train him a lot in the chapters moving forward. He's not really over-leveled, and him being ahead of the experience curve doesn't alter much, because he gets doubled experience anyway. However, we still have to train his bow rank a lot. Negu is dropped up there, so that she can start building up some more lance rank. The boss needs to be taken down over the course of several rounds because I couldn't exactly rig a crit on the fly. So I had Negu take him over the court, take him on a couple of times with the steel sword. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I couldn't exactly rig a crit on the fly. Your stats still matter. In fact, for the next chapter, because it's a large route map, we wanted them to be as high as possible. We wanted to have around 21 strength at a certain point in the next chapter. Most of what we do now is just completely irrelevant. Because we have a lot of units with strong 1-2 range that can one on their sages, and E-lane who can't, we're able to use them as an excuse, as a way to grind up our tome rank. I don't ever visit that armory, so I don't remember what's in it. However, there is a village that does end up getting visited, if it hasn't already been visited. It contains a silver longbow. It is the same might as a steel bow. Okay. But it is 2 to 3 range. It only has 15 uses, though. One really weird part about it is that it doesn't have to be an A... You don't have to have A-rank bows to use it. Or B-rank bows. You only need to be able to use bows, period. We never end up using the thing. Steel longbows are more than enough. But it is nice to hang on to. While Roswell isn't a super threatening boss to most of our units, he can deal a lot of damage, if not outright one-shot Katarina. Probably should have used a barrier boost on her earlier. I'm wondering we didn't really focus any experience in Alchemist in this map. He has a lot of time to train. Chapter 21, he'll have a lot of time to train up. And he needs to be able to... He needs cap stats in Chapter 23. Or Chapter 24. He has Chapter 22 and Chapter 23 to train himself up. You can see Clara's stats here, and you can see that they're not super impressive. Behind her, admittedly pretty great, 20 luck and 18 speed. Then we have now that we're basically secured in being able to defeat the boss, we're able to just focus our efforts onto training up Elaine's tome rank. I was worried about the Green General dying, which, to be fair, is a worthy concern. As I said, I'm not sure if he is a game over condition. He might be. Regardless of whether or not he is, it doesn't matter. The boss's Siege Tome only has a single use left. We have a lot of units available to kill the boss if Negu, and whatever other units we end up using to do so, fail, though. Negu has no chance of critting Roswell, I was just paranoid. She also has no chance of getting crit by him. Again, I was just being paranoid. I would have preferred if Elin was a single point of speed faster, but all the speed rings had to go to other units, and she already has eaten 2 energy rings and an angelic robe. Her stats are perfectly fine. Roswell swaps to his Fimbulvet Tome on enemy phase. There's no real reason other than the fact that it is more accurate, so he has higher odds of being able to defeat Negu. Whenever we end up fighting him, that is. I was very worried that I wouldn't be able to protect the Green General from killing himself on the sages, but I realized whether or not I could protect him doesn't really matter anymore. I literally only have to make it impossible for him to move any closer to the sages. Experience on Katarina still does matter. She shouldn't ever have to take any hits, even though she does end up having to do so. However, it is still nice just to take any precautions. Because Elain's level is actually kind of low at this point, she's getting a decent amount of chip experience per combat. Because of this, she's going to be able to kill one of the sages once they attack her on enemy things. We don't ever really care about the barrier boost. The only unit we would possibly care about using it on is Katarina, but she's never really deployed when we we never really have a free turn to barrier her at any point. Now that Eileen has a lot of res, and a lot more magic and speed, and by a lot more, I mean a single extra point, she's able to dissuade the sage into attacking Boleslav. He still has 5 levels to go to cap his speed. Because of this, I decided to give him the kill on the sage. Technically, it would be optimal for Elaine to get it, but this means it's a little bit of extra work that has to go into Boleslav, which I am very grateful for. Negu swaps to the Steel Sword. Fimbulvet is notably stronger than Nosferatu, so I had to be more careful when using Negu to fight him. Even though the odds of her death were low, because I wasn't rigging, they were feasible. Katarina unfortunately doesn't get to do much next chapter. We'd prefer if Negu hits all of her attacks. If she does, she would actually just 2-round Roswell. But the odds of that happening are pretty slim. Eileen deals practically no damage to Roswell, if any at all. And we want Negu to get an extra round of combat in. Admittedly, this was kind of dumb. What I should have done was have Cynthia fight Dione first. But this does get Negu the extra crucial point of strength she needs in the next chapter. This is necessary to recruit Dion, which is the only reason why we waited around so long. I did in fact test this myself. Because Waylon still needs experience, I figured there were a couple of ways to kill Roswell, which is why I hit status here. Either Celia could crit him, Waylon could hit him once when he doubles, or worst case scenario, I could just poke him once with Boleslav. The odds of success were pretty high here. That's all, finally, for Chapter 18 of this playthrough. Waylon gets an extra level up, caps his speed, and in the cutscene after this map ends, we get Brave Lance. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for Chapter 19, the final route map of the run, where everything comes together. Bye!